All right, let's dive into the story of a truly legendary ruler from ancient Yemen, Queen Bilqis of Saba. Her story is so much more than just a tale of power. It's this incredible mix of wisdom, deep mystery, and a spiritual journey that really makes you think about what leadership and faith are all about. So let's just get right to it. The big mystery at the heart of her tale. Was Queen Bilqis simply a brilliant, powerful human monarch? Or, as some of the old legends whisper, was there something supernatural about her? Something not quite human? This one question is really the key to her entire story. Okay, so to understand her, we have to start in her kingdom, the legendary land of Saba. I want you to picture a place of just unbelievable wealth and prosperity, but a place whose spiritual compass was, well, pointing in a completely different direction. Saba was this incredible paradox. On one hand, you've got this engineering marvel, famous for its amazing gardens, its advanced canals, and all this bustling trade. I mean, it was practically a paradise on Earth. But on the other hand, the people, led by their incredibly wise Queen Bilqis, worshipped the sun. And woven through all of this is that persistent legend, the rumor that the queen's own mother wasn't human, but a jinn. Now, let's shift gears. Far away from Saba, there was another kingdom, ruled by the Prophet Sulaiman. You might know him as Solomon. And his realm, it was the polar opposite of Saba. Not in terms of wealth, but in what they believed, in their entire spiritual foundation. See, Sulaiman wasn't your average king. He was a prophet, and the power he had, it was on a whole different level, a gift straight from God. His army wasn't just made of people, it had jinn and animals in it. He could literally command the wind. And get this, he could understand what all the creatures were saying. This goes way beyond politics, right? This is divine authority. So how do these two completely different worlds even collide? Well, it all starts with a very tiny messenger. One day, Prophet Sulaiman is reviewing his huge army, and he notices someone's missing. A little bird, the hoopoe. When the bird finally shows up, it's got this incredible story about a land Sulaiman had never even heard of. It had seen a powerful queen and her people in Saba bowing down to the sun instead of the one true God. Now, Suleiman's reaction is key here. He doesn't gather his armies, he doesn't prepare for war. His first move is to write a letter. But this wasn't just any letter. It was short, direct, and incredibly powerful. It didn't ask for gold or land. It went straight for the heart of their beliefs and invited them to something greater. And then he gives this world-changing message to the little hoopoe to deliver. Okay, just stop and think about this for a second. You're one of the most powerful queens in the world, and a bird delivers a message from some king you've never heard of. A message that challenges everything you and your people believe. What do you do? How do you even react to that? And her very first move just screams wisdom. No knee-jerk anger, no panic. Queen Bilqis just calmly gathers her council of advisors. She puts the letter in front of them, asks for their thoughts, and gets ready to make a huge decision. And this is where you see the huge difference between just being powerful and being wise. Her advisors, they're all, let's go to war, we're strong. Their immediate answer is pride and aggression. But Balqis, she's playing chess, not checkers. She sees the bigger picture. She knows what war does to people. So she comes up with a brilliant plan. Let's send him a gift, a really, really nice gift. And we'll see by his reaction what kind of man he truly is. So this absolutely stunning caravan sets off loaded with gold and jewels and all sorts of priceless treasures. It's the kind of gift designed to impress any normal king, to completely blow their mind. The only problem is, Suleiman's court was anything but normal. And when the gifts arrive, Suleiman just turns them down. Flat out. His response completely flips the script on her test. He basically says, you think this is wealth? What God has given me is infinitely better than anything you can offer. Boom! He's not a warlord looking for treasure. He's a prophet with a mission. He passed her test, and now, without her even realizing it, she's the one being tested. Suleiman knows she's on her way now, so he decides to show her a kind of power she can't even begin to wrap her head around. He turns to his court and asks a simple question. Who can bring me her throne? Now remember, her throne, the very symbol of her kingdom and her power, is hundreds of miles away. A powerful Jinn steps up and says, I can do it pretty fast. But then a scholar with knowledge from God says, I can do it faster. And poof, just like that, in the blink of an eye, the Queen of Saba's throne is sitting right there in front of Suleiman. So when word gets back to Bilqis that not only were her amazing gifts rejected, but her throne is now somehow gone, she knows.
She has to go see this man in person. This isn't about politics or diplomacy anymore. This has become a journey to find the truth, a journey that's about to change her life forever.
So Bilqis arrives at Sulaiman's court, and right away he puts her to the test. And there it is, her throne. It's been miraculously transported, but he's had it slightly altered, a little disguised. And he asks her this really simple but very tricky question. Is this your throne? And her answer is just perfect. She doesn't just say yes. I mean, how could she? That's impossible. But she doesn't say no either because it so clearly is her throne. Instead, she says, it is as if it were the very one. So smart. She's acknowledging that something impossible has happened without sounding crazy. It's just more proof of her incredible intellect. But the biggest test was still to come. Sulaiman leads her into this magnificent palace, and the floor is made of crystal clear, polished glass that looks exactly like a shimmering pool of water. It's so convincing that Bilqis, thinking it's real, actually lifts her dress so she doesn't get it wet. And Sulaiman just calmly tells her, this isn't water. It's a floor of polished glass. And in that one moment, you can just imagine it all crashing down on her. The rejected gifts, the impossible throne, this palace of illusion. It all clicks into place. This isn't just a powerful king. This is a power from God. And right there, she gets it. Humbled, she realizes she's been wrong, renounces sun worship, and declares her submission to the Lord of all worlds. Okay, what an incredible journey of faith, right? But now we have to circle all the way back to that very first question we asked. The whole half-Jinn ancestry thing, the legends about her. Where does all that stuff fit in? It's really important here to separate the core religious story from the centuries of folklore that grew up around it. And here's the breakdown. The Quranic story, it's all about her wisdom, her incredible leadership, and her spiritual journey. The more fantastical stuff, being part Jinn, having hairy legs like a Jinn, or even marrying Sulaiman after she converted, that all comes from later stories and traditions. And look, those details are fascinating for sure, but they can sometimes distract from the main point. The real story is about her mind and her faith. Which leaves us with this really interesting thought to chew on. The core story of Queen Bilqis is this powerful account of wisdom meeting faith. But all those legends that popped up later, they tell us something about us, about our human need to explain things that seem totally extraordinary. So it kind of makes you think, right? Why do we add these layers to our histories? And how do these powerful legends end up shaping how we remember a person? Maybe even more than the original story ever did.